As we begin video 4 of 5 in the logistics series, we will focus on routing, assignment of units to routes, and a driver's smartphone overview. Please take note, we begin precisely where we left off with video 3. At this point, let's get to our routing setup. We will now select all the units and check Next. The first thing you will see is the units you have available. You have 19 orders and no need to assign all 5 units. As we have mentioned several times, it looks like 15 are in close proximity to your delivery area and 4 outside. While you may only want to assign 1 unit and have 1 unit on standby for orders as they come in today, in this case, as you recall, in the settings we decided not to load a vehicle or unit with more than 8 orders. There's no rhyme or reason for that other than in this case it was so we could show you how the assigned routing works. Let's assign these 3 units for today's delivery and see how the application breaks it up. You know there are only 19 orders, however it appears on the surface there are 25. Don't panic when you first see that number. When you open the routes, you will see the drivers also need to go to the warehouse to start and return to the warehouse to end their shift. 3 drivers, each going to the warehouse to start and returning to the warehouse, makes the difference. If we were to have set the parameters without warehouses, which you have the option to do, you would only have seen the actual 19 orders. As you can see, you still only have 19 orders selected, 3 units assigned, and 3 routes built. Notice the estimated mileage for the J. Jones unit is 17.3 miles. For the 4940B unit is 132 miles. And for John's cell phone, 14.1 miles. The breakdown of the route is the sequence the drivers should deliver the product they are carrying. To see the route on the map for John's cell phone route, just uncheck the other routes and check John's cell phone. In the real world, you may have a driver assigned for a route and they call in sick or have an emergency and can't report for work. That means you must reassign the route. This is easily done by running your mouse across from the unit you want to replace all the way to the right to the toolbar and click on the icon that looks like 2 vehicles switching place. This allows you to choose another unit that isn't being used. If you don't have an additional unit available and are now required to assign all the orders to 2 units, you can do so by highlighting your existing route, going to the right where you can see the trash icon, and deleting the routes. You then go back to planning, select all, click Next, and choose the units you want to assign to your routes. And now you have your accounts assigned to 2 units. That's how easy it is. For now, we will trash the 2 routes and reassign the 19 orders to the 3 units as we previously had structured for this demonstration. As we bring this session to a close, as a business model, one of my suggestions would be to invest on our rechargeable GPS units and/or our Orbit locator that allows you to use a cell phone for an individual, just like any mobile GPS system. Set geofences, monitor tracks, set speed alerts, etc. By having the units returned to the warehouse after each route, it frees you the flexibility to always have the unit at your dispensary where you can recharge the GPS and have it available for any vehicle for delivery at any time. If someone gets sick, just move the unit to another vehicle. The bottom line is that as an owner, you are always in control of having a unit at the office in the event someone doesn't show up for work. It's not stuck in the employee's vehicle. It should be noted that our 4940B rechargeable unit will stay recharged for at least 3 weeks at a time, so it isn't necessary to recharge every evening. Below the search bar, you will see the route state, either active, planning, or fulfilled. Currently, none of the routes have been fulfilled. To have a route fulfilled, each order process needs to have been resolved in its entirety. Let me explain. Since I am the operator or dispatcher, I have the ability to override orders where the driver would not have that capability. As such, for this demonstration, I can show you in a matter of seconds what I'm referring to. Since I will be playing the role of the driver, let me show you what I see on my smartphone. The first thing I do is log into my smartphone logistics application, as we discussed. As the driver, I now see my route, the sequence of my deliveries, and can get started. We will cover the smartphone application in more detail a little later in this presentation. It's quite simple and only takes a few minutes to learn. For now, we will click on Dispensary 1 to demonstrate. Keep in mind, we are not at Dispensary 1, we are just pretending to be there, as that is where the warehouse, and I am to pick up the orders for the route delivery. We pick up the order, the operator watches me load, make sure the load is secure in the vehicle. According to state law, we will use California as an example. I take a picture of the load using the logistics application on my phone. I use my finger to initial my approval as the driver, and I have the operator initial my phone that I am good to go. All this, by the way, takes about 30 seconds of my time on the application, and I leave. Because I was in the radius the operator had set up in the settings for a configuration, the pickup was confirmed. For show and tell, as the operator, I will manually confirm by checking on the green check mark. Notice the confirmation box I must acknowledge as the operator to confirm. I will type order picked up and loaded and click OK. You will notice in the map for the route that it shows the route assigned as a dotted line. When the route or orders are confirmed, it will show a continuous line as the actual route taken rather than a dotted line. That is important. For example, let's say you noticed that one of the orders never got delivered and was never confirmed, but when evaluating the route and deliveries at the end of the day, you saw that the driver was within 500 feet of the delivery location and you had set your radius at 300 feet. I would imagine in that particular situation you would want to have a visit with the driver to find out what the circumstances were. We get to our first of 7 deliveries and attempt to complete the delivery. Notice the information provided in the lower left panel. In this case, let's assume the order was rejected because there was no one there to receive the order. Make the appropriate notation and click OK. Notice in the operator system the exclamation mark circled at the left of the order. In this case, it is an indication you may need to reschedule a time for delivery. Our next delivery, indicated by a green dot at the left of the order, goes as planned, order delivered. Click OK. Next, confirm delivery. Next order, confirm delivery. Next, confirm delivery. Next, confirm delivery. Next, confirm delivery. Now we have made our last delivery and on our way back to the dispensary as required by California law, as we have cannabis that was never delivered, as we had also set this route up to return to the warehouse or dispensary as standard protocol for delivery process. As you recall, the purpose of this exercise was to show you the state of the route located under the search bar. Everything is still active. If you click on fulfilled, you see the route and delivery process was not fulfilled. As such, we will go back to active and see what we need to do to close out the route assigned to the 4940B unit. We see the dispensary was never checked off upon return. As such, let's check into the dispensary and see if that clears the books for the route for the day's delivery. Returned to the dispensary after assigned route. Now let's check fulfilled in the route state to see if that takes care of the route completion. You see that takes care of the route, but there is a glaring explanation point next to the first order. When you look at the lower left panel for that account, you see that the order was rejected because no one was there to receive the order. While the driver could have called the individual to find out the situation, in this case we just let the dispensary handle a reschedule. In the event no information had been placed into the confirmation area to show it was an issue, and let's assume it was an accident that was missed for no reason as far as the delivery, it would not have been able to be moved to the fulfillment state. This is a checks and balance to help with the routing and delivery verification so that detail isn't missed. Also, notice in the mapping there is an explanation in red on that order as an indicator. As we bring this session to a close, as a business model, one of my suggestions would be to invest in our rechargeable GPS units and/or our Orbit locator that allows you to use a cell phone for an individual, just like any mobile GPS system, set geofences, monitor tracks, set speed alerts, etc. By having the units returned to the warehouse after each route, it frees you the flexibility to always have the unit at your dispensary where you can recharge the GPS and can attach it to any vehicle you want at any time for delivery. If someone gets sick, just move the unit to another vehicle. The bottom line is that as an owner, you are always in control of having a unit at the office in the event someone doesn't show up for work. It's not stuck in the employee's vehicle. It should be noted that our 4940B rechargeable unit will stay recharged for at least 3 weeks at a time, so it isn't necessary to recharge every evening. Our next and last session will cover notifications to the client and to the operator from the driver, chat capability, document attachments such as an invoice, signatures, and training on how the driver uses the application on their smartphone or tablet. Thank you. Have a great day.